Yes, I finally get to make an entire video about conscious breathing. Good morning. This month's wisdom cards are all about breathing consciously, and the theme is underwater. Now, if you've ever been snorkeling or scuba diving, you'll know that the only thing you can hear when you're under the water is the sound of your own breathing. So let these cards inspire you to dive in to some conscious breathing, to experience a different realm, a quieter place of presence. Let's begin with the first card. The artwork this month, by the way, is created by my daughter. On the back of the card it says, when you're breathing in, notice that you're breathing in. When you're breathing out, notice that you're breathing out. Let the breath be natural. All of these cards have quotes by Daniel Schmidt. I encourage you to look him up if you haven't heard of him. He has an amazing channel called Awaken the World. Him and his team have created these wonderful movies, and they're all free, and it's really for the awakening of humanity. So on the front, I like to put a little prompt to help you remember what the quote is about. And this one is one of my favorite prompts. Follow the breath. Follow the breath. These words have the power to lead you to freedom every time, because usually we're in a state of following our thoughts, aren't we? This is actually the best advice that I think I could give anyone ever, simply to follow the breath. You know, if you want to be present more, if you want to take a break from all the drama in the mind, from everything that's happening in your life, from all the suffering, if you really want to experience a peaceful, beautiful realm where you're not stuck in the middle of all that psychological mess, all you need to do is follow the breath. But don't take my word for it. Try it for yourself. Following the breath simply means that you bring your full attention to your breathing. You notice the air going in, and you notice the air going out. Now, there's going to be that part of you probably that wants to argue with me and say, no, Aliki, this is too simplistic. It doesn't work for me. I've tried it, etc., etc., etc. But don't pay attention to that, because that is following your thoughts. And today, we're looking at what it means to follow the breath. This one little shift can change your entire experience of life. Today, after you've watched this video and you start going about your day, doing your stuff, whatever that is, remember these 3 words. Follow the breath. You can change it to follow my breath, whatever works, and start becoming more aware of your breathing. It doesn't matter if it's just for one single breath. That attention shift can bring you back to a balanced, harmonious state. You see, it's extremely powerful. It doesn't mean that you have to be able to follow 100 breaths in a row or anything like that. No. It's really very simple and easy. We can all do this, can't we? The more we do it, the easier it becomes. And the easier it becomes, the more we do it. It's a win-win. Follow your breathing. Whether you count, whether you don't count, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you're doing it consciously and you're giving it your full attention. Because, you know, we can only focus on one thing at a time. And if you're focusing on the air going in and out of your body, you can't focus on your thoughts and your worries and your problems at the same time. We begin with the basic act of breathing in and out. This seemingly insignificant act becomes transformative when done consciously. The guidance here is to notice by following your breath as it moves in and out. This isn't about breathing wrongly or rightly, doing deep breaths, box breaths, or manipulating your breath in any way, although you're free to breathe as you wish. It's simply about noticing your breathing and following your breath instead of your thoughts. The next card is this beautiful seahorse, and the wisdom quote says, "The more fully our attention is held with the experience of the breath, the less it's going to be caught in the mind." And the prompt on the front is, hold your attention. The more we can hold our attention on our breathing, the less we will feel bothered. So we're focusing on our breath and noticing its rhythm. And as we're doing this, we discover, this is actually quite nice. This is a relaxing state to be in. I like this. It's quiet, it's calm, just me and my breath. We can learn to hold our attention, to keep our attention on the breathing, and stay here for a little longer. And the more we do this, the less we get caught up in our mind. And isn't this the biggest predicament of humanity? That we get caught in our mind. You know, when you look at all the problems in the world, if everyone had an awareness of how their mind works and they didn't believe everything they thought, I mean, we just wouldn't have the problems that we have, would we? Follow the breath. Hold your attention. Stay here for a while. Start to become familiar with this beautiful place of present awareness. We begin by remembering to follow the breath, and we continue by keeping our attention on it. Here we go deeper from the act itself to the experience of it. Holding your attention means staying with the breath for longer and becoming immersed in it. Sometimes you want to just do a couple of quick conscious breaths, but also give yourself the opportunity to see what it's like to remain in the experience of conscious breathing for a longer period of time. The next card is this beautiful betta fish. If your attention goes to some internal dialogue or mental images, we're familiar with that, aren't we? Simply return back to the breath and be aware that the thoughts may try to continually hook your attention. Thoughts like to continually hook our attention, don't they? So the prompt for this card is, watch out for hooks. Now, personally, I think if you're human, your attention is always going to be sucked away into some mental image or internal dialogue. That's just the way that we are. Please don't think that that we need to, hate the mind and the ego and that thoughts are the enemy. That's not it at all. It's all about having a healthy relationship and being aware of what's going on rather than going through life like a puppet, listening to your stream of unconscious thinking. Watch out for hooks, things that will distract you from this wonderful time you're having focusing on your breathing. There's a lot of distractions, isn't there? But that's okay, because actually we can use them all as a practice to keep coming back again and again and again to our breathing. You get distracted, you come back. You get pulled away, you return. It's just like the fish. If you imagine that beautiful betta fish with its flowing tail and fins, and it's weaving through the water, and there are these hooks dangling here and there from fishing lines. And it's kind of like that with us, you know, we're focusing on our breathing, and then we remember something. Oh yeah, I need to do that afterwards. That's a hook. But instead of getting caught in the hook and getting yanked out of the water for the rest of the day, no more conscious breathing, we simply come back to our path, right? We veer off the path, but we come back. We veer off, we return. Remember, in truth, presence is our natural state. In this place of presence, everything is perfect. There's no mental narrative convincing you that things should be different. Everything is just so. And that means we can relax. We can chill from the job of trying to manipulate life to be how I want it to be. We can take a break from all the suffering that we experience. And just enjoy some precious moments of presence. As you're focusing on the breath, you'll encounter distractions. Firstly, be okay with this because it's perfectly natural. Secondly, all you need to do is let go of any interest in your thoughts and return to your breathing. It doesn't matter if this happens 100 times. Just keep coming back. Disregard any thoughts of self-judgment or frustration. It may help to say to your distracted mind, I'll get back to you in a moment. I'm just going to be present for a while. The more you practice this, the less your thoughts will bother you, and the easier it will be to follow and stay with the breath. And finally, the last card. Isn't it cute? Says, the breath can guide us out of the labyrinth of the mind to the present moment. Guided to freedom. Our little turtle friend here is going to guide us to freedom. So here we are in the darker part of the woods, and as we follow the breath and we stay with it and we keep coming back, no matter how many distractions, we find that this breath is leading us out of the maze of our muddled mind, back to freedom. Back to a place where we can breathe more easily, where our troubled heart can release its pain, where our whole being can feel lighter, freer. This conscious breathing can lead you to living a life of freedom. If you take this seriously, every time you remember to bring your attention to your breathing, you can be set free from so much. And how long does it take to experience this? Do we need to practice for a few weeks or months or years? Do we need to become experts, masters of the breath? Do we need to buy a course or a book or go on a retreat to improve our breathing? And how long does it take to experience this? Do we need to practice for a few weeks or months or years? Do we need to become experts, masters of the breath? Do we need to buy a course or a book or go on a retreat to improve our breathing? Well, I would argue that anyone can experience this within a matter of seconds, over and over again. You know, I've actually had this experience where I've sat with someone with a very, very troubled mind, and I led that person into some conscious breathing, and within a few seconds his entire disposition was transformed. He found this place within him where the problems just weren't bothering him. He found this place of true deep peace and rest, and this smile just took over his face. It was really the most incredible experience. Of course, afterwards he went back to how he would normally feel and his normal thought patterns, but that seed grew over time, and this person is actually now living a completely different life. Now, I'm not saying I had anything to do with that, but what I am saying is that our breath is actually a powerful, miraculous thing that we take for granted. And perhaps moving forward, we need to begin appreciating how valuable, how incredible, and how transformative it really is. The word labyrinth in this quote is a wonderful picture of the confusing muddle of our thinking mind and how easily it traps us in a mental prison. When you breathe consciously, it's as though the breath becomes a lifeline, leading you to freedom. Turning your attention to your breathing instantly brings you into presence, where you can experience true freedom from the stress of thinking about the psychological realm of past and future. Let this card remind you that one conscious breath can lead you out of the maze and into the peace of the present moment. I'm going to give you a challenge, because I like doing that sometimes. See if you can have some conscious breathing. Say 3 conscious breaths 3 times during today. 3 times. 1 time straight after this video, 3 conscious breaths. Then maybe before you have your next meal, 3 conscious breaths. And maybe when you get into bed. Write it down on a post-it note if it helps you remember. Use some kind of prompt. This is where the cards are really good. 3 times today. And each time you do it, remember these cards. Begin by following the breath. Keep your attention on the breath. If you get distracted, come back to the breath and enjoy a few glorious moments of freedom from your busy mind. Thank you for watching this video. And for all your well wishes. It does feel good to have the brace off, and it does feel good to be healing. The only thing you can hear when you're under the water is the sound of your own breathing. It's actually a lovely state to be in. It's very... Oh, there's a squirrel. It's very relaxing. So cute. I want a pet squirrel.